guys, Marsningan here, bringing you another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video, and today we are going to talk about the 350 million download celebration part 2. When exactly is it going to start? What are we going to see coming with part 2? There are some things we know right now, and then obviously some of the stuff is down to speculation. For example, we know we're getting a part 2 LR banner, because we always do, but we don't know who it is, so there hasn't really been any clues, unless, I guess maybe there has been cryptic clues, who knows? Well, I guess we'll know when we finally find out who the unit is, right? So, the 350 million download celebration officially started on the 25th. That's when we got the special missions, the login bonus, the story events all started, the stone banner and the memorial ticket version, all that stuff came out for the Dokkan Fest banner, not the Goku and Frieza. Obviously we had to wait a couple of days for that to start, but we got these story events. We got the Extreme Z area for the first 2 members of the Ginyu Force, we got the first boss rush, and then obviously the celebration really kicked off a couple of days later when the banners came out with the new Dokkan events, and you know, obviously Goku and Frieza, 2 of the best units in the game, if not the 2 best, depending on where you stand in that side of the argument with the AGL UI Goku. I've seen a lot of arguments on both sides. It's very difficult for me to decide. I might try and do like a detailed comparison video between the units like I did back in the past. I did one with the Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta and the Imp Broly, but the problem is, for me, I wanted to have all of the units equal to do that. So when I did the Broly and Gogeta comparison, both units were 79% and level 10 links, whereas obviously I have AGL UI Goku with dupes and I don't have Goku and Frieza with dupes, so it's kind of hard for me to show on video examples and compare them with it being completely fair. But obviously these 2 units, absolutely crazy. But that was all we got in part 1. Now, let me know down below, do you think that that was enough content? I think on the first day when everything came out, I was super busy with my actual day job and loads of other stuff. So it actually took me quite a while to get through all of the content. I know a lot of people, the major complaint that Dokkan celebrations get is that when they come out, you can do pretty much everything on day 1 if you have a few hours free. So I feel like there was a little bit more to be doing in this one, but let me know what your guys' experiences with it were. So, the main point of the video, let's talk about when exactly part 2 of the celebration is going to start. So, if we look at the previous worldwide celebration from last year, it was a very similar thing where logins, story missions, all that kind of stuff came out, and then the banners came out. It was 1 day later. And then part 2 of the celebration was just over 2 weeks after the banners came out, and then again the part 2 top legendary summon banner came out 1 day after the official start. So the part 2 started on Monday the 14th, and then the banner came out on Tuesday the 15th. So obviously this year, with the part 1 of the celebration having started on the 25th, it basically seems like we've got just over 2 week gap between the start of part 1 and the start of part 2. So that lines up fairly well if they want to have part 2 start on a Monday again and then have the banner drop on a Tuesday, because we are just over a week away. A week from now, this is being recorded on Sunday the 5th, so a week from now will be Sunday the 12th. The next day, Monday the 13th, that is when I would estimate that part 2 of the celebration is going to start, and then on Tuesday the 14th the part 2 LR banner will come out. I think one of the things that backs this up, not only does this fit perfectly in line with the timeline from the worldwide celebration from the previous year, but also if you look in game now at the Goku and Frieza banners, the discount thing is still live, the 3+1 discount summons, but you can see on the scouter at the bottom that it says there are only 8 days remaining. Again, this is at time of recording, and 8 days from now is Monday the 13th, and they do this a lot. We saw this with the anniversary with the rainbow tickets. The rainbow tickets and the part 2 LR banner went live when the countdown for the discounts on the Blue Evolution and Ultra Instinct banners ended. So it seems like they are going to be following the same thing here. Essentially it means that, if I am correct about this, which I assume this is the way it's going to work, it basically means we have an in-game counter for when part 2 is going to start, because that countdown for the banners should probably be an indication of when exactly it is going to begin. So, when we look at the worldwide celebration from the previous year, part 2, we obviously had the win and lose cards campaign. So this is shown in the art. I don't think this is actually the thing for it here, but oh, it is here. Yeah, the showdown campaign. Yeah. So we already saw teased on the JP livestream. I don't think they showed it on the global Dokkan now, but the winner and loser cards for this year are going to be a Bardock and a Frieza. Now, obviously, until we see the cards, they always do with these win-lose cards. The card itself is exactly the same, other than the links. So, I feel like going into this already, it's pretty obvious that the Frieza one is probably going to be better. What with the Frieza team being super good compared to some of the teams that Bardock goes on. Like, outside of Pure Saiyans and Goku family, he's mainly built around things like low-class warriors, revenge, etc., which are not, the top-tier teams, whereas a Frieza, if the cards are reasonably good, he's going to fit in on, Transformation Boost, Terrifying Conquerors, obviously the new Sworn Enemies category. So it'll be interesting to see what exactly those cards are going to do. Obviously, you know your boy is a big fan of Bardock, and the way the years previous seem to have gone is that JP pretty much seems to decide which card they want, and if they want the win card, they win by a pretty significant margin, and if they want the lose card, they actually manage to lose, which is what happened in previous year before. I think it was the year before last. We got the winner card was the Super Saiyan Goku and the loser card was a Frieza, and Global actually won because the Frieza card was more desirable to the JP audience. So then obviously we have the top legendary summon banner. Let me know down below your thoughts on who the unit could be. I might make a separate video about this, so keep an eye out on my Twitter. You can see the link up on the screen. The link is in the description at the Masked Ningen. I might put out a tweet asking you guys and then make that into a video, because I definitely have a bunch of different ideas for things that I would like to see as the part 2 LR. I'm leaning towards either a Vegeta with maybe a revival skill where he gets healed by Dende and then comes back with the massive Zenkai boost. And then, of course, there is the possibility that we talked about on the 5-9 podcast that with the banner units that we've had in part 1 being very much focused around the end of the Namek saga, it's very possible that they could move into post-Planet Namek in that sort of gap. Although technically Dokkan considers that the Android Cell saga, it'd be very interesting if they moved part 2 into the King Cold and Mecha Frieza. An LR Mecha Frieza I think would be pretty interesting, because we still don't have a singular good Mecha Frieza card. We don't have a good King Cold, but I don't think he would make a good summonable LR. I don't feel like people would be hyped for that, but Mecha Frieza definitely could work for that. And then, of course, there was just a whole bunch of events. Extreme Z area will definitely get at least 2 more of the Ginyu Force EZAs. Because they only released 2 originally, I'm not sure what they'll do, because we've got 3 more to go, but you would hope that they're going to EZA the LR as well. So it would have made sense for them to do 3 at once and then have the other 3 unlocked. So maybe they'll do 2 and then 2, and then who knows, this version of the download celebration this year could have a part 3, although it did not in the previous year. Obviously the anniversaries have 3 parts, so it'd be interesting to see how they do the EZA. We had new stages of Extreme Super Battle Road and a new Infinite Dragon Ball History, because one thing that was very clearly missing from part 1 of the download celebration was a new Infinite Dragon Ball History stage. We did get the new difficult event, the collection of epic battles. We got a new boss rush, and if you look back to the anniversary, this is actually very similar to what happened at the anniversary. We got the main banners, we got ticket stuff, we got story events, and then we got a new difficult event with the God event and a new boss rush, but we didn't get a new Infinite Dragon Ball History. And then in part 2, obviously we had the part 2 LR banner, and then we did get a new Infinite Dragon Ball History stage. So I could definitely see a new Infinite Dragon Ball History stage coming for part 2 of the celebration, themed around Planet Namek, I would assume. Be interesting to see what kind of theme they take with it, whether it'll just be you fighting all of the extreme characters from part 2, from the Namek saga, or if it'll be a mix of all of them with Goku and Gohan and Krillin and that in there. And obviously another thing to remember as well is the collection of epic battles event that came out. We did only get the first stage for it, which is from the perspective of the super type characters, so the extreme type characters, so all of the enemies are super type characters. So we do need to get the reverse version of that as well. So that's going to be very interesting, assuming that will have a whole extra section of missions. Considering the missions for the first one were obviously themed around extreme type teams, it seems very likely that the ones for the next stage will be themed around the super type teams, probably including Goku's team as well. So there's a lot of stuff coming that we know of, and then a lot of stuff that we sort of know is coming, but we don't really know the details, like the Part 2 LR. We do also know that the AGL Goku is getting his EZA, the counterpart to the Frieza. I'm really hoping that we do still get a summonable LR EZA. So they could either do STR Full Power Frieza, if they do move into, like, say, LR Mecha Frieza is the Part 2 LR, they could do an EZA for physical LR Trunks. So let me know your thoughts on what exactly is going to be going on in Part 2 of the download celebration, which, as I say, should, in theory, begin on Monday the 13th of September. So let me know what you guys think down below in the comments section. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Master Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below for the Discord and the merch store, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.